Welcome to another video at Cash Zero Nightmare, and I wanted to speak a little bit about Rin and updated build for her. If you probably saw, maybe not, my previous video about Rin, well, it was a mess. It wasn't optimized at all whatsoever, and right now with a better understanding of different mechanics, how cards working, which feats are going to be the best, I want to provide the updated video about her specifically and showcase how crazy she might actually work and what's the best epiphanies for her and partners and so on and so forth. We're not talking about specifically Chaos Run, but in general for all the other modes that we have. So a little bit about Rin, when we're going to have a look at her cards. So a quick summary about important aspects here. First of all, they are all important except for this one, which is going to provide shields. You don't really need it, and you want to really delete it whenever it's going to be the case during the run. It doesn't matter at all. Now, important thing is going to be about actually potentials, because at this moment, when you will be able to unlock yourself this node, which is basically going to give you an ability to activate her Dark Stance from the basic cards, like this one with 1 mana and the other one for 2 mana. Let me show you just real quick these two cards. And she has, I believe, like I have in my deck like one of each. Yeah, so this is like the easiest way to activate yourself the stance. The other way to do it is going to be through this card, the Drawing Slash. It's also going to activate it with a certain epiphany. But yeah, these are like 3 basic options. There is some others, but I'm going to explain it in a little bit details in a moment. Anyways, yeah, the most important cards for her deck are going to be the Drawing Slash, because it's basically going to cost 0, and with a certain epiphanies the amount of damage which she is able to provide with this card is just freaking insane. Another key card is going to be this one, Dark Mist Secret Art Destruction, which is basically going to bring into your hand her cards. We should keep this in mind, because in a moment we're going to speak about epiphanies. For this one card, we can get ourselves some useful, let's say, epiphanies, which are going to kind of benefit our build, our composition overall, in general, for a huge damage output in a single one rotation. This one basically is going to buff the damage, so in general they're all important. And the last one, it's like a massive freaking nuke if you're able to provide all the important support for her to have enough skill cards in your hand. And this is an interesting really. As well, for example, from her Ega skill, she is able to apply to vulnerable, so opponents are going to receive basically more damage. That's all you need to know about it. And about partners, well, in my case, I don't have a better version of a partner who is going to fit Rin the best way. So right now I'm using Ritechka because overall she's a good one, 4-star partner, which you're able to use especially for like nukers who are using high cost cards, which are going to like deal insane amount of damage within a single one usage of a single one card. But overall she's still useful here because obviously she's level 40, so she's going to provide additional stats which are helping. And also like there is one card which I have at 2, at least is going to deal more damage, but also more importantly that at the start of the turn one of the assigned combatants attack cards are going to gain plus 7% damage for every point of the total cost of attack cards. It's going to kind of benefit a little bit, and the skill with 3 moral, the moral effect, it's absolutely insane. It's really good. So about potentials mentioned, about memory fragments. So here is kind of an important one topic to speak about a little bit. When a card is exhausted for 1 turn plus 15% weight card damage. I think it's not really working because for her deck specifically there are no cards which she's going to exhaust and the duration is going to be only 1 turn. So in my case, instead of these, ideally I need to use something else which is going to improve her damage output, and I have an idea what exactly. I believe this is going to be the best one fit here. The Conqueror's Aspect Shock, because at 4 sets is going to increase crit damage of 1 cost cards, and these are, let's say, most of her cards. The question is going to be about the crit rate, because obviously the critical damage is going to proc when you're going to provide crit hits. How to increase her crit rate? Well, here we need to speak a little bit about her gears, let's say memory fragments that we have, and you can get yourself certain procs in crit rate, crit chance. It's going to be not an easy one, not gonna lie, but the other important aspect is going to be about working with your potential and with your nodes. So here you can see in total it's going to be plus 10% crit chance. This one is going to increase crit damage. This one is going to increase additionally crit chance. So whenever you're going to have greater than 600 attack, is going to add plus 5% crit chance, and for every 40 attack above that threshold, apply an additional 1% critical chance, up to an additional 10%. So in total, from her nodes here, she's able to get herself like what? 15, 10, 25% chance. And somehow, ideally, you want to get yourself another 25% from your memory fragments, I guess, to at least bring it to somewhat like 50% chance, because she's a spammer in a certain way. With all her attacks, they are going to be counted as separate attacks, and for each one of them, I believe like having at least 40% is already going to be decent. But yeah, it's definitely going to take quite a lot of time to work on this in a proper way. So yeah, the way it's set isn't going to be the best one for her. And again, as I already mentioned, ideally you want to have probably with crit damage, and the other option like to set is going to be with additional attack. I believe this is like the most optimal composition. And with that being said, about preparational phase, it's done. Obviously we're not going to speak about her advancements, and they're going to be just going crazy for sure, there's no questions about it. Now let's speak a little bit about Epiphanies for her. So what's going to be the most important, the most broken? About these Epiphanies for the drawing slash, the strongest one is going to be which is going to add additional damage according to the number of cards in hand, and in certain cases you are able to scroll the deck and use it properly. That is going to be a full hand, and the damage multiplier is going to be way higher than anything else here. About this one card, so this is the most interesting and the most important, and ideally if you're going to have a copy of it, it's going to be even better. In my case I have two. I'm going to show you the saved data that I have. The most broken here is going to be the Dark Mist Secret Art Destruction, because it's basically going to bring into your hand from whatever these two cards are located, Dark Mist Secret Art Annihilation and Dark Mist Secret Art Black Dance. These are cards which is going to provide quite a lot of damage, this one, and the other one which is going to be like our main massive nuke and spamming skills if everything is built correctly. The other card which is going to worth mentioning in terms of Epiphanies, this one obviously, and it's quite an interesting. So the most amount of damage you will be able to receive from this one basically is going to be like 200% damage, and also you're going to have 100% critical damage. It's about crits, and in a later game when you will be able to build her specifically with the crit combination composition, this one is going to work just great. But for now, for example, I'm using this one, which is going to reduce the cost of all her cards by 1 for 1 turn. It's going to be literally that you will be able to use all of her cards immediately without spending any AP at all whatsoever. Actually, this one might be also really good. This is going to be kind of decent damage output. And this one actually is also not that bad. I mean, it's going to be like real spamming skill. Basically, there are certain stages and certain cases where you need to spam, and this is going to help you quite a lot. So it's going to depend on the situation where you need to use her. But yeah, they're all useful, at least from this card. Now, this one, the most important here is going to be probably the one which is going to cost 0 if you're kinda struggling a little bit with managing her AP, but usually it's not the case. Anyways, yeah, it's going to be like increase of attack. The other good option is actually going to be the one which is basically an upgrade. Passively is going to increase the attack damage, the attack cards damage by 50% for all of her cards specifically, and it's going to work passively all the time. So yeah, these are, let's say, the most important epiphanies. Now let me show you my save data that I have here. As you can see, so basic cards, yeah, I deleted the shield card. Now for this one I got myself lucky to get specifically that one, which is going to provide damage multipliers based on the amount of cards in my hand. This one I got myself with the upgrade, like passive one. This one I got myself with the cost reduction by 1, which again, for example, for certain sets isn't going to be optimal. That one which I was speaking about in terms of crit damage, yeah, because it's going to apply to cards which are going to cost exactly 1, and basically whenever you're going to reduce the cost of all of your cards and they're going to cost 0, well, you're not going to receive any benefits at all. I got myself this one, a card which is going to bring additional card from the deck and reduce the cost by 1, not random, but here specifically. And I also got a copy of this card with the proper effect, so sometimes it might be like a crazy combination, really. You can, within a single 1 turn, collect all of her cards in hand and use them like immediately. Yeah, bring Annihilation and the Black Dance cards. This one is actually also an interesting one option, and whenever you have a chance to, for example, buy this card, I would really recommend it because it's quite a good one addition. And I got also an epiphany on it, so you can see during the next turn, for example, I'm going to add in my hand 2 additional cards and get 2 moral stacks, which is going to increase our damage output by a lot. But yeah, that's the deck that I have right now. They are without like any upgraded effects, unfortunately, because during the run I was able to farm myself such a broken deck. But again, the amount of data that we're able to save during the chaos run is kind of low right now. It's going to be better later on, but yeah. Now a little bit about the showcase and how it's actually working. So in team composition we are going to work specifically with Cassius and with Mika. Why is it the case? So Mika, she has a lot of cards which are having a skill effect. Alternatively, instead of her you can use Nia, because she's also all about the skill cards and she will be able to help you utilize the deck more effectively. If you're not struggling with survivability, you don't need healer or a tank, and Cassius obviously one of the best options here, because with his Joker card or maybe some buff cards, he's able to help and scroll the deck faster and find whatever is going to be needed. So let's start and let's have a look at how it's actually going to work. So we're starting from the very beginning, and we'll try to get ourselves some proper rotations here. Yep, it's going to be nice. It's going to work actually. Okay, waiting for some proper rotation. Oh my god, that's freaking huge. No, this is a GG. So the whole idea that I have about specifically Mika, again, I have the retain effect on her source of water cards, and I got both of them in my hand. I got myself the card which is going to activate our stance. I got myself card which is going to increase our damage output, and this one, it's not really that important right now. It's not going to work that properly. But we already have everything set as it's supposed to be. Yeah, the only thing that I need is to get myself her cards. This would have been great. You know what? No, I'm not going to use right now. Just whatever. I'm going to use it for now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's because my stance isn't active, but with 9 cards in my hand, this is going to be 9 times 30, 270, so overall above like 460, maybe even more. I don't know how the multipliers are going to work there. Anyways, using Joker, we're going to activate our stance once again. Just like that, using it. Great. Hello. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to reduce the damage that I'm going to receive, so I'm going to kill them, actually. Okay. Nice, I see. Yeah, so right now everything is working as it is supposed to work. Great, I mean, why not? Okay, and now for example you will be able to see that I'm going to use this card once again. Again, deal damage with this one, but it's not going to kill. I am going to deal damage with this one, and this is going to kill. And once again, this is like without some proper buffs being applied. So yeah, kinda crazy, not gonna lie. Okay, so we are going to get ourselves 1 EP point. I'm going to do it like this. Using this card, using the ultimate to apply vulnerable, the Ago skill, I mean. Great. Go next one. Okay, now the rotation is actually ready. Let me just count my cards in my hand. 3, 6, 9. It's going to be 10. This is going to be 10. This is going to be boom. This is going to reduce the cost of all of my cards. yeah, I'm missing some skill cards, so the potential of this card isn't full. It's like ideally should be 2 more stacks, 2 more hits basically, 2 more hits. And I still have like 2 more cards to deal damage with some decent multipliers. And it's like also with the fact that, for example, I didn't use anything from Cassius to provide myself some additional stacks of moral. But yeah, this one is cooked. I'm going to the final one. Okay, so we can do everything without any questions. We're going with Joker. Where is it? Here. Actually, for Joker, having advancement 1, like bringing him to T1, is going to be crazy improvement, because at this point he is going to use his Joker card and he will be able to bring whatever cards is needed, not just from draw pile but also from discard pile. So if there are cards in the discard pile, you will be able to get them, and that's why this actually combination is working. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, great. Yeah, this is decent. This is decent. I'm not gonna lie. And we're just going to repeat the process once again. Whenever you're getting in your hand some additional cards from Rin, this is going to be great. But yeah, overall that's the rotation, how it's working. We're going to get cards once again. We're going to reduce the cost once again. And yeah, I have only 2 skill cards, which is a shame. Unfortunately, I won't be able to finish it right now because I'm missing some skill cards in my hand. Well, unfortunately, for the, you know, like, purpose of interest, I'm not going to kill it right now. Obviously I can do it because I still have 2 AP and I have like multiple attack cards and I can use all of them to destroy the egg. But we're going to skip the turn. We'll let him to revive. Only 538 HP. This is not impressive. Yeah, it didn't happen, unfortunately. Jesus. Oh my god, this is really insane. This one. Using this one. What is it going to be? Boom. Boom. Yep. Nice. Nice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, as you can see, numbers are going to be lower because he has certain buffs on him, but anyways, it's kinda impressive, right? So yeah, with that being said, hope you enjoyed this video and find this helpful, interesting. Thanks for watching and see you guys in the next one. Take care.